Angela Pennant, and I'm the youth leader here at Sacramento First Church of the Nazarene. And today we're going to talk about bullying. As we're getting into back to school time, I wanted to have a conversation about bullying. I know that many of you are doing distance learning and you're not in a traditional school setting day in and day out. However, you're still coming into contact with your peers, whether it's online or in a face-to-face setting. And let's face it, bullying can happen anywhere at any time. So have you ever struggled with loving someone or something? Struggled with loving school? Struggled with loving yourself? Struggled with someone who's always being mean to you? How do you deal with someone who is always picking on you or spreading rumors about you or bullying you? It can be really tough, right? On one hand, you don't like the emotional and sometimes physical stuff that comes from being bullied, but you don't want to speak up because you don't want the bullying to continue or even to get worse. But you also don't want to tell and be labeled a snitch. Bullying makes it really hard to love. I want to talk quickly about what bullying actually is. Bullying is the intentional tormenting or upsetting in physical, verbal, or psychological ways. It can range from hitting, shoving, name-calling, threats, and mocking to extorting money or possessions. Some kids bully by shunning others and spreading rumors about them. Others use social media or text messaging to taunt others or to hurt their feelings. Does any of this sound familiar to anyone? Is any of this happening to you? Or are you doing any of these things to anyone else? How did Jesus respond when he was persecuted? He showed love. He even said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," while he was hanging on a cross. When people were intentionally trying to trick him into saying the wrong thing so they could get him thrown into jail or killed, how did Jesus respond? He remained calm. He allowed the Spirit of God to guide his thoughts, and he responded in love. And what did Jesus do when he was betrayed by one of his closest friends? He allowed himself to be arrested, and he didn't fight back. And you may be saying, well, but yeah, that's Jesus. I mean, of course, he's perfect, right? But who are we supposed to be striving to be more and more like every day? Jesus. We may never respond exactly like he did in every situation, but we can strive to. We also need to remember that all of the persecution that Jesus went through had a purpose. When we are being bullied, it is not the same as the persecution that Jesus went through. When we are being bullied, it is not God's will. It's someone being mean and malicious, and it is not right. And we need to make sure we're doing something about it. So what can we do? Number one, we need to realize that bullying is wrong. Whether you are being bullied or you're the one doing the bullying. Just because you don't do things or act a certain way doesn't mean that you deserve to be teased. And just because you come from a certain family or a neighborhood does not mean that you deserve to be ridiculed. And just because you took a stand on a certain issue is not justification for people to hurl insults at you on Facebook or in text messages. Number two, bullying needs to be stopped. You really need to talk to an adult about what is going on. Find a teacher at school that you trust, or talk to a counselor, or come and talk to me, or talk to an adult family member that you trust. I know you might be scared to open up or even to admit that you're being bullied. And I know that you might be afraid of what happens when the person who's doing the bullying finds out that you told on them. But too many people hide from the fact that they're being bullied, and over time, this takes a toll on you emotionally and physically and mentally. After you tell an adult that you're being bullied and they take the necessary actions against the person who is bullying you, where do you go from there? More than likely, you will have feelings about the person who was bullying you. So what do you do with those feelings? And this is the hardest part, my friends. Number 4, you forgive and you love. Let's see what Jesus had to say about forgiving and loving in Matthew. Matthew 5:43 through 44 tells us, "You're familiar with the old written law, love your friend, and its unwritten companion, hate your enemy. And I am challenging that. I'm telling you to love your enemies. Let them bring out the best in you and not the worst. When someone gives you a hard time, respond with the energy of prayer, for then you are working out your true self, your God-created self." Now, will this happen overnight? Probably not. There must be something inside of you that wants to forgive the person who is bullying you. And every time you see that person and you get angry or feel shameful again, you need to ask God for the power to forgive them again and again and again, as many times as it takes. And if you were the person who was doing the bullying, you need to ask forgiveness from the person you were bullying. You need to be sympathetic to that person's hurts and their feelings towards you. Bullying happens everywhere, at school, at work, online, but that doesn't mean that it's right or that it needs to be tolerated. We just need to be the people of God who can come to a place where we no longer treat people differently because of their culture or their interests or their beliefs. And we also need to be a people of God who can love our family and our friends and even the people who have bullied us. If you're struggled with being bullied or being a bully, and you need help, please talk to someone that you trust. I'm always here for you guys. My door is always open for you. You can call me, you can email me, you can text me. You guys know how to get a hold of me. And if you don't, reach out to the church and we'll help you. We will do everything in our power to help you get through this. And as your church family, we are praying for you all as you enter this next school year and the challenges that are going to come your way. We love you and we pray God's protection over you. Thank you.